Yeah. What's up, Leo? I accidentally unmuted the mic and I burped. Uh-oh. You heard me make a burp. That's embarrassing. Oh, I can't share that kind of stuff with people. That's embarrassing. People are gonna talk about it. People are gonna talk about it. People are gonna talk about that burp I made on the internet. They're like, hey, isn't that Rebecca Lauren? Isn't she that person who did that burp on the internet? Oh, that's weird. I wouldn't want her around me because she burped. You know, like that. I'm so judgmental about that burp that I think that that burp is some kind of morally wrong thing. That because this person burps freely and wants to share her burps with the world, that she can't because it's like offensive or something. Because they think that it's somehow like damaging people. They think that it's like people. What if people get addicted to like seltzer water? You know, like what if people just drink seltzer water all day? You know, that's the fault of the person who burped, right? It's like it's like you burp and everybody thinks that it's like malicious. They think that it's like, oh, this person is like has some kind of like weird need to like burp in front of people, and it's like you know, perverted in nature because that's what we associate with that behavior. It can't be possibly that that person is just healthy and like, you know, sometimes you drank a little too much seltzer water or something and you burp, or maybe you just want to burp because it's like, I don't know, like it just makes you happy and you want to share your burps with the world because you're not uncomfortable with it and you find joy in it and it feels really good to burp, you know? I mean, those who know, but you know. Anyway, how you doing, Leo? I'm just playing some Final Fantasy 11. I haven't been playing. I've been neglecting my gameplay. This is the only way this is the only like real way to socialize with my brother and have a relationship with my brother, is because me and him grew up on Final Fantasy 11 and we had a lot of really close bonding during that time. You know, me and him like would spend like entire weekends like on days off and stuff like that. You know, we both worked at Taco Bell, and like we would talk about the game while we were at work, and then when we went home we would hang out and play the game, and then we would obviously like get pissed off and yell at each other and stuff. Like that's what siblings do. But you know, and also we would kind of say like, oh, you know, can you level up my character for me like while I'm at work? You know, and I'll bring you home food. And I'd be like, okay. And you know, obviously, I don't give a fuck anymore. Obviously, nobody does because we're older and we're like, hey, it's just a game. Like, I don't need to have every single item. Like, what's the point of the game at all if I'm gonna like? I'm gonna be real. It is very grindy. Like right now, how many more job points do I need? Eventually, you get to the top. You know. I need 2,100 total, so I need about 470. Well, 400 and 418. I need 418. 400. No, not 400. Not 518. Oh no, 418 job points, and I'll. It's gonna take a while. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna burp more, Leo. That was a joke. Don't make demands. Another thing that if you know, you know. Like, laws against that. Trying to force me to burp against my will? That's pretty fucked up. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, if it's a transaction and it's consensual, you know, that's one thing. We were trying to make comedy together, right? We're trying to make comedy together, okay? We had a moment, Leo, and now you've hurt my feelings. You hurt. Our trust is broken. How are we supposed to burp together now after what you did? Actually, it's my fault for setting the premise that it's okay for you to do that. But that doesn't mean that it's my fault. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, I have autonomy over whether or not I burp. Jesus fucking Christ. I burp on my own time. And seriously, though, it's a really serious topic, and you know, I think some people don't see the big picture. If you've been in the scene a lot about discourse and all that, there's a whole bunch of like entry-level points that people make that there's like deeper discussions that need to happen. It's like we need to move the conversation forward, but we also need to catch people up at the same time. Otherwise, what's the point of the conversation, you know? Sometimes you just have to warp home and, you know, gather more information. And also, I need to get some food, so I need grape daifuku +1. It's more expensive, but it adds up to more damage over time. I do need better gear. That's a much better investment of gil, but it's actually more time. Because a lot of the gear you literally can't buy anymore. I am leveling up crafting, and I need to level up multiple. I need to level up multiple character crafting. I mean, for crafting, you can literally be level 1, so it's not like the end of the world or whatever. But for crafting, I have 2 alts, although I need to activate them again. I won't need my alts until I start crafting a second craft, and I would like to get like level 100 goldsmithing first, and then smithing, and then like cloth craft on one of my mules, and then I'm probably gonna get smithing or bone crafting, depending on what my brother levels. $300K down the drain. Nope, down the gullet. This really adds up over the hours. Just an extra 1% adds up so much, and also an extra stat, a single stat point. It really does add up over hours and hours. So when you're going to be out there like killing monsters for like hours and hours, like thousands of hours, okay? So obviously, the enjoyment of the game doesn't come from some kind of arbitrary goal. It comes from like the times we have together. And you know, the moments we share together, especially like the moments in between, like when you're, you know, even like not people in your real life. But like people on Discord from the community, from the link shell, etc. All those kind of conversations. It's not a game, it's a screensaver. Oh, I need to get Ionis. Yeah, we're just gonna jam out for a bit. That's perfectly fine. I mean, I have people who only come for my burps. They only come for my burps. There's people who only know me for my burps, and you know, that's fine. But you know, like, I think it's like there's a difference. I think people don't really fully understand that it's like, it's, you know, you start off like with, it's like a game of telephone, right? You start off with a thought. You know, usually that thought is just like a random thought or whatever. And then it's like you carry that thought, though, down a path that's like not even based on all the information, right? So like somebody who judges somebody for burping and enjoying it and sharing it with people who also enjoy it. There's people out there that see that act of burping as something that is deliberately crude or deliberately like taboo, and they see it as some kind of fetish, right? They're like, they want to hear burps because, like, you know, there's some people like that, and it's like comes from a really weird place. And it's not that it's like weird to like burps. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly healthy. It's a natural body function, right? It's a natural body function. We feel it for a reason. It's because our body needs it. So when you burp, it's just a natural thing. But you know, some people don't want to share that publicly, and that's perfectly within their right. They have bodily autonomy, and you know, so like some people will see it as like, oh, I don't want to do it, so therefore, you know, because I think it's like something that you shouldn't share, so that means that everybody has to think that way. And it's like, well, okay, you don't have to listen to the burps, you don't have to watch the burps, you don't have to like that I'm doing it, but like I still have the right to do it. I should have the right to be able to like say, hey, like, I like burping, I want to share it with the world because I think it's healthy and beautiful, and I feel like it's my contribution. It's a performance, it's artwork. I know some people might not think it's art. Some people might not think it's art. They think it's some dirty thing. But that's a projection. I don't think it's dirty. I don't think it's dirty at all. I don't think it's weird, or obviously if it's coercive, that's different. If it's consensual and like, you know, like that's a different kind of thing, right? And it just kind of bothers me sometimes that like people will look at me and say like, because you burped in public, and it's not even public, it's still like, you know, considered private because it's gate-kept by like a, you know, it's for good reason, you know. There are, you know, systems in place to protect people, all people involved, including me, especially me actually, because I'm the one, you know, consenting, and I should have like, you know, be treated with respect and dignity like anybody should. Not seen as some kind of lesser person because I choose to, you know, sometimes burp in public. You know, some people burp for a living. Maybe that'll be me one day. But just because you burp for a living doesn't mean that, like, that's how you are, like, with private partners. Like, everything is it's different. Like, you have to consent. Like, you have to be able to decide for yourself, like, you know, like, and, you know, you're an adult and you're capable of making the decisions. You know, and also there, you know, there is a natural level of coercion. Like if somebody says, hey, I'm going to pay you to burp, and you don't really feel like burping, but you're like, you know what, I think, you know, obviously there's a bigger picture. You know that you enjoy burping for the most part. You're not going to love it all the time, but if it's, you know, a decision you can make and you're fine, like, hey, I can phone it in this time. You know, it's when it becomes a pattern that you know, have to make different choices. That's, you know, it's more of a pattern thing. It's not like just because sometimes you're not going to always enjoy eating cake either. But cake is really freaking good. Like really freaking good. Like cake, like, oh my God, like especially like cheesecake. Oh my God. Ice cream, all that kind of stuff. If you eat it all the time, you know, especially if you're forcing yourself to, kind of like becomes something that's like, okay, like it's one thing if I want to do it, but like there's like a very specific reason why I don't want to be doing that right at this second. and want to, re-explore it next year is because there's a very important thing happening. And I can't be burping because it bothers me at this moment. So close to that other moment. It's like a torturous thing. And why would I? And obviously that I have the consent to do that. I have to make consent in order to burp. Right? And if I don't consent to doing it, that's the decision I make because I care about myself more than, potential dollars. It's just like even at this moment, now's it's an easy decision to make because I'm like, okay, well, I'm still on the up and coming. So I'm still on the up and coming. So, I have the luxury, I guess, of being poor. Because right now I'm just need to be stable. I need to focus on myself and my mental health and my life, my medical goals, which are very important for me to live a fulfilling life. And also I owe it to everyone else to respect myself enough to do what I need to do. And, just like I respect myself that, like, I don't, I get to choose when I work. I don't have, I go into these situations knowing full well what to expect. Otherwise, I wouldn't go into it. Right? And once you know what to expect, you can have more autonomy because you can make better decisions for yourself. You can protect yourself more. And it does require a lot of education, which unfortunately the world doesn't do as a natural state. So you have to take the initiative. You have to be a leader. Not everybody's a leader. Sometimes it takes a leader to create leaders. Everybody should be a leader in their own way, but like there's specific leaders for specific things. And those things can even just be like, hey, someone has to like, if there's like garbage on a seat on the bus, someone is going to be the person to like, throw that out. Not everybody is going to be that person. But, somebody took initiative that time. That person's not always going to be there. And in fact, like, that person was not required to even do that. It's like, obviously it's a nice thing to do, but, there's things like that, Anyway, let's jam out for a bit. All right, we're gonna switch to Against All Odds for a contractually obligated gameplay. Yeah, let's switch to Against All Odds. Hope everybody's enjoying the chill stream. Just another chill day, Sunday. Hope you know, it's 2023-07-16 on a Sunday. Okay, so here we go. 2023 is not September 23rd. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's switch over the category just 1 second while I do so. Switch over the category over to Against All Odds. And I hope everybody's having a beautiful day today, okay? Have a beautiful day today. Let's go switch over to Against All Odds. Oh, you gotta check something. Let's just listen to some. Let's just jam out. Let's switch radio stations. Let's jam out for a while. Dragon Quest. Coke habit. Is that Morty? Is that Morty? Nice, way to go, jackpot. Nice, got another legendary. Ooh. Hey! New outfit. New outfit drop. New merch drop. New merch drop. Look. New outfit. Now I got 2 outfits. Too bad I can't just copy and paste a preset though, so I can just... That'd be a cool new thing. If I could just copy and paste one of these. To make new outfits. Yeah, I think the oxygen tank goes with this outfit. But right now, I'm in live streaming mode. So you carry a backpack. You have to jump there, I think. Hey, space ducks. Hope you're having a good day, Space Ducks. We're just chilling, playing some Against All Odds again. Thanks for being here. Aw, thank you so much. Protect the Rebecca. It's the tough map. Nice. Got a new hairstyle. Okie dokie.
That one is mine. So long, Negro.
I'll be right back. No, 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 no. I'm back. Sorry about that, Rogue. Sorry I missed you. Hope you're still here. Yeah, I was just had to go to the bathroom. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back. We're back. We're back. Hi, Subby. How are you doing? Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel beautiful. I'm trying to accept it, you know? Trying to accept that I can be beautiful. That I am beautiful already. But there's lots of things that... There's, well, one more thing that needs to change. And obviously, you know, beauty beauty isn't like as simple as, like, aesthetics. Because beautiful is like a full, like, who are you as a person? What do you stand for? Like, how do you react to adversity? How do you respond to people who are trying to harm you? Like, etc. You know, there's so many things. I don't want to, like, feel like I'm all, you know, like I'm, you know, the best thing since sliced bread or whatever. But I do think that I can look myself in the mirror and accept who I am. And I think that's really important, is to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. I feel like sometimes life forces you into corners where it's hard to look at yourself in the mirror, but, you know, that's just life. It kind of pressures everyone equally. But depending on your geographic location, when you're born, you have less opportunities than others. Or if you're born into poverty. Hey, Dawn, how you doing? We're just playing some Against All Odds. I haven't seen you in a while, unless you're a new person. There's, you know, there's sometimes people have similar names, so. What am I coping about? What am I talking about? There's no coping going on. I mean, what am I even talking about? I forgot what I was talking about, really. What was I talking about? There's a double jump. There we go. What am I... Cut? What are you talking about? Cut! 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 Cut the scene. Everyone take 5. No, I really do think you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror sometimes. And, like, some people don't want to do things that I'm comfortable doing, and I don't want to do things that other people are comfortable doing. And I think it's important to remember that no matter what you're comfortable doing, you can't, like, force other people to think the way you do. You know, like, some people are gonna be like, ew, like, you know, that's gross. Why would you? I would never do that. It's like, yeah, you would never do that. It's not gross or shameful for someone else to do something that you don't want to do. And nobody should force you to do something that you don't want to do. You know, like when it's like a matter of, like, you know, consent, and everybody should be able to choose, you know, what kind of line of work they do. And you know, unfortunately I can't really work right now because of, like, just increasing, you know, dysphoria like around a part of my body that is, you know, everyone knows by now, you know, like it's hard when you're like so close to something that you've been waiting for, but like it's not so close that I can keep working. I mean it's, you know, like I have like a ton of time, really, not really ton of time, but like I have time before the surgery, but I have to not work because my mental health is more important than a few dollars. But I will be at a point where I can return on my own terms. So, I mean, it's not really a snip. It's more of like a really complex procedure that involves like, it's not super complex, but it's like, it's more of a procedure, less of a removal. It's just a reconfiguration of tissue that both biological anatomies have, right? It's the same tissue, but you know, chromosomes decide the very first development in the womb. Yeah, I need that. I've been seeking surgery since 2006 or 7. I mean, I knew about it around 2006, but I didn't actually tell anyone, and probably until 2009. I was afraid to tell people that I cared about because I didn't want to ruin our friendship. Obviously, the important friendships survived. The ones that weren't that apparently seemed important, but as soon as you do something, as soon as you're come out as something that they don't approve of, whatever that is, they're going to show their true colors, and you kind of have to make decisions, and whether or not you want to, you know, have a conversation with that person over a long period of time, or whether it's worth it or not. You know, because some people, it's just, you're not going to be able to change them. And unfortunately, they think they love you, and they don't. Because if they loved you, they would be supportive of you through whatever you're going through. And trust that, you know, as, you know, the trust that you're getting, you know, that you're working with medical professionals who know what they're doing, who have worked with many people. I'm gonna time you. I'm gonna ban you now. Not really. I'm gonna give you a warning. Don't ask about my family. Don't ask about the boxed life. Don't insinuate that I'm some kind of like terrible, evil person because I have human problems that everybody has to deal with, which is like having parents that are very abusive and alcoholic. If you want to know, tough. Because this isn't like my personal life out on for you to, you know, you don't need to know about it. You know, what's wrong with what we have right now? We're just having a conversation. There's people who don't want to be involved with whatever I'm doing with my streaming stuff. There's NDAs that have been signed on certain things. Yeah, my dad's okay. So that's an innocent sounding question. It's just because you kind of came in a little bit hot. There were some red flags. I apologize for assuming you were, like, you know, meant like something harmful or whatever, but I just want you to know, you know, there's certain kinds of people out there that, you know, they're my hate watchers, and, you know, I can't do anything about them, but I'm okay, yeah. I'm more than okay. I've had my facial feminization. I'm back in like a social structure at the college after like 4 years or 5 years at this point. It's been 5 years since I've been at the college in a since I've been in a college environment. I burned out in 2018, and then I needed to take time for myself and deal with my mental health, go to therapy, and start transitioning finally, you know, in September 2019. It's been 4 years almost. And I'm really happy because my bottom surgery is finally happening. I just have to hold on, and it just means I can't work, but there's a lot of things I can work on besides work. I just won't make as much money. But that's fine. I don't really need too much money. It bothers me. Sometimes my spending habits are really kind of impulse. I'm trying to fix it. I do approach negative a lot. I try not to. I try to just accept, you know, like, hey, I need to save up, but it's really hard. I'm gonna be honest. It's really hard. I'm doing my best. I have a team of people I've enlisted to be on my support team to help me work through these life skills. And I'm continuing to do so. And right now, I need to accept that I am literally going, like, way above what most people will. And they end up being okay. You know, I'm only 35 years old. I have, like, the rest of my life. Yeah, you know, I have this big surgery that's coming up, so literally I'm basically like, that's all my life is just trying to stay calm, keep my blood pressure, you know, regulated, keep my diabetes in check. Yeah, I apologize though, like about like sometimes people come in here and they're concerned, and I get it, but I have I've made videos on the subject. I don't like talking about it because I've already addressed it multiple times. In fact, I've made 2 videos, one immediately after Box Life happened, and then one like a year later when I was still getting random bullshit about it. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to put it on a spotlight. Sometimes you do. And I've seen Hassan do this. Like, he won't always get one guide in chat, right? But it's important to sometimes address certain issues if they keep coming back up. There's a point where it's like, hey, I put 2 and 2 together that every normal person that is a decent member of chat has never had an issue with it. And if at all, they're more like they come in here concerned about me or whatever. And I'm like, usually people who come in quote unquote concerned about a streamer, it's kind of a red flag, but I'm not going to just ban someone because of that. It's more like, hey, like you come in here with some kind of angle, you want to interrogate me and prove to yourself that I'm a bad person. Maybe you should look at yourself first and think about all the people that you've done not so great things to, and you know that I'm a human being, and even if I did like insanely worse things, I'm still a human being worthy of forgiveness. And if you believe in God or not, I do believe that human souls are valuable. And I do think that there is no permanent damage that can happen to our souls. That no matter what, we can always get back. And if you choose to continue to dive worse, that's your choice. But some people try to get better, and I'm one of those people. So if people are gonna give, I'm not really gonna talk this to death. But so far the data I've collected is that usually like really kind of decent charitable people move the fuck on, and the absolute worst garbage of human beings are the ones who continue to double down on it. Just a heads up that I've noticed that over empirical data at this point. It is literally empirical data at this point. And if somebody is just because people don't recognize it, they think they're smart, they think they're hot shit. I see right through you, buddy. I see right through you. So don't come in here with that shit. Don't come in here with some Frank Hassel bullshit. Don't come in here with some anti-trans bullshit. This isn't the place for you. Go hang out with Nick Fuentes. That's fucking like Loserville. That's like how to be the most like ridiculously disgusting person possible is to double down on like targeting people who are already struggling and kicking them or trying to kick them because they're not actually relevant. Like that, making your whole life about that. It's so disgusting. I hope that you have somebody to talk to that isn't going to further radicalize you. someone you trust, but someone who's very skilled with working with people in that way, like a therapist or a psychiatrist. Because sometimes people get into positions where you trust them, but they can't be trusted because they, there's situations like that. But people who make it their life mission to help people, to heal people, to work through with people, in the most humane possible way, saying like, hey, patient first. Like maybe a doctor says, oh, well, if you get this surgery, like you have like a certain percentage chance of dying. Like, yeah, obviously, I'm willing to take that fucking risk. Because I already know how long I've waited denying it to myself. And I'm done. And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck what some random people on the internet who've never met an actual trans person in their life, never had a trans person go through anything with their life, and actually given them like actual benefit that they are a human being worthy of love. Instead, come at them from an angle that they're like a monster, or that they're like some kind of like abomination or something like that. If you come in hot, you're gonna get burned. Okay, maybe consult your Bible about that one. It's usually a Bible thumper people. It's not always, but it's usually Bible thumping people. Maybe stop thumping your Bible and maybe open up your heart to Jesus. Not like some idea of Jesus that some pastor told you. Not some idea of Jesus that someone sold you. Not even Jesus itself. It's just this basic idea that humans are worth it. Like, how can you live your life not knowing that? I feel sad for these people. I feel very sad for these people. It's kind of like, it's just really sad. And then they, some people even go so far down a rabbit hole, they completely lose their soul to hatred and violence. And then they claim that God told them that. That's not God, buddy. It's definitely not God. Not the God I know. But I can't change people. I can't change things that are out of my control. I can't change people's beliefs. I can't, and also, like, if I could, like, what gives me the right to? I can barely even figure myself out. How could I figure out a stranger that I've never met or probably never will met? And I don't know, how do I help these people? I don't know, I can't. Maybe. I'm not going to try to. I take care of me first, and maybe it'll rub off on them. Maybe they'll start to work out or socialize and read about what you can do to be a responsible, how you can be a good boyfriend or girlfriend, and not and be able to listen to your partner and respect them instead of making it all about you. There's people that will sell you an idea about that. The Andrew Tates of the world. But there's people that actually do know what they talk about. And you know why? It's because they listen. They listen to people. They're not telling you what to do. They're listening and then passing it along to you. There's a difference when you think of things that way. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. I don't think regret is useful. I think it's better to reflect. It's another R word. Do you ever reflect? I think reflection is better than regret, because regret fails to address the issue. Like, if you fail to address the issue, then you're gonna make the same mistakes, or you're gonna be at a huge risk of making mistakes. So don't have regret. Reflect. Reflection and perspective is going to solve 99% of your problems. And I'm gonna tell you that from experience. Reflection, changing your actions, looking at something and recognizing what it is and why people are upset about your behavior, that is what's going to save lives. That's what's going to help individual people. The people who are doing the violence, right? What do you feel regret for, autistic and proud? I'm ugly and I'm proud. I'm ugly and I'm proud. Is that what he's calling it? Sorry, I had to do the SpongeBob reference. I'm not going to regret it, because I would regret infinitely more never doing it. I would infinitely regret more not doing it. I would never be able to look at me in the mirror. I would never be able to respect me. I would be like, how could you? How could you go through that and then back out? It's not about, like, obviously it's not like hard to go through the surgery. I'm like diving head first into it. Do you understand? I have been running straight towards this surgery for well over a decade now. If I regretted it, well, then I would just live my life the best I could and be happy with what I got, because I took the chance. If it doesn't change anything, or, God forbid, if things got worse, which I don't want to think about, because, I'm going into this like as strong as I can and like prepared as I can. But if there is something that goes wrong, I'm going to have to address that if that comes. But most likely, what if things go right? Even if I like years down the line was like, oh God, like not as great as I thought, who cares? How is that any different than just trying to accept my body as it is now, right? I would do whatever possible to do the psychological and spiritual work to be okay with it. Because if that's what people want me to do before transition, then why can't I just try transitioning first and then start that process if need be? Rather than do it just because people are like, have this idea that I need to live a certain way and look a certain way, and that if I have procedures that can help me, for some reason someone thinks that I shouldn't get that. Like what? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I've been diving headfirst into this for the last 4 years, like actively, but even like just passively since I was like 16, 17, 18, when I was still figuring out what the fuck this was. I knew I needed the surgery right from the beginning. As soon as I knew I was trans, I'm like, that's what being trans was for me, was I need a vagina. That was being trans, like that was the reason why I came out as trans, because in order to get the surgery, you have to go through a whole bunch of steps. And obviously you wouldn't, obviously they're required for a very good reason. Like, and also I want the sexual characteristics of, the female hormone, estrogen. So that's why I did it, because I knew I needed it. It's as simple as that. But if for some reason I got like this random fear, and like I would never cancel it even with that fear, because I'm consenting, and if 999,999,999 times I say fuck yes, 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 and then one time your brain is like, oh, this is too scary, no. That doesn't mean that 100% of the fucking things switch over. Okay? Your brain is gonna like try to back out of things that are scary. And this is really fucking scary. It would be weird and irresponsible of me if I wasn't going into this fully knowing that there is a chance of complications and that I'm risking It's a really fucking big risk. But would I rather live an extra long life hating myself, miserable because I backed out of something that I worked so fucking hard to dive right head first into? No, I'm not going to back out of this surgery. I'm not going to have any regret. Even if I died, or even if something really bad happened, I'd be like, you know what? At least I tried. Okay. I'm just going to ban you. Just as a final note, anybody who thinks you need to completely... Oops. Who did I accidentally... Oh no, did I accidentally ban the wrong person? Fuck. Wait, what happened? Oh, never mind. I didn't ban the wrong person. I just need to check. Yeah, these people have no idea what we're talking about. Get fucked. Okay, here we go. Get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. It's like jerking off, right? Imagine someone on the internet who's so addicted to the internet and like diving into other people's lives to tell me to get off the internet. And someone telling me what my spirituality is.
It's that time again. The runners are just getting ready for their big moment. Here's always tough. The wins as usual, but not gonna lie, sweaty for them to top. This race course has claimed many over the years, as you know. Millimeter precision on that slide, just amazing. And they're through to the next section, Phil. It was close, but they made it safely.
But yeah, like as far as regret goes in general, like, yeah, people do have regret, but they move on, and that's why reflecting is way better than just regretting. Regretting involves shame. Regretting involves like the failure to address like what was wrong. It puts all the blame on yourself, and it makes it all about you. And the problem with that is that it's not all about you. Especially if there's people involved, but if it's you involved, well, that means that you don't allow yourself like, hey, you were doing the best you could with the information you had, and you made a pretty fucking good decision because you were in the position to make the decision. Nobody else was. Literally, nobody else was in a position to make the decision. And it was over so many, like, well over a decade. There is absolutely zero chance that I'm going to regret it. Assuming it goes well. If it goes bad, well, there's, you know, those are things that you don't want to think about. But there's realities you have to deal with, but there's hope. There's always hope. Okay? And, you know, if anybody, you know, is going to talk about spirituality, I think it's transgender people. probably the people who need the most spirituality because it's a requirement, basically. How can you possibly work on yourself at that deep of a personal level without gaining some kind of spiritual insight? And it doesn't make any sense. And maybe these people who are, think that prescribing activities makes you who you are, then maybe you should go like on a hike and go search God or whatever. That's about it. I'm not going to get stuck on this. Huh? Huh? Oh, I'm just messing around with my my overlay a bit. Why is it not letting me reset the transform? Not letting me reset the transform. Like, not letting me reset the transform. I'm trying to copy paste transform. It's not changing. My favorite, I don't really think of artists that way. I just kind of like what I like, and I don't really try to force it too much. I like video game music, lots of different composers. I don't really think of music as who wrote it most of the time. Most of the time. Sometimes, yeah. But it's more of an afterthought. Like, I think about the music. Like, I don't think you need to know that Mozart wrote something in order to know that it's good music or not. Whether you like it or not. God damn it. What? Not doing it. Not doing it so well. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna call it a day. I think I was pretty. I just like I don't know. It's been like 3 hours, so it's like been a decent stream. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, just I don't know. I kind of invite people to kind of like today, try to go outside, talk to someone you care about, especially. Not my business, but I hope you do it for yourself. Okay, bye.